Hi, Amanda. Good morning. Over in progress. Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Environmental Committee this Thursday, April the 2nd, 2026 at 9 a.m. Just want to call this meeting to order and acknowledge that we are on the unceded territory, the traditional territory of the Stahelis, and glad to be here. Item number 3, is there any introduction of late items that the committee would have? Late items, Paul or
no?
Susan? Okay. And agenda, approve the agenda. Can I have someone, a mover and a seconder? Thank you very much. And call the question on the approval of the agenda. All in favor? Thank you. And so that is approved. Thank you, Tyler.
Yeah, setting this up. Just let me know if it's anything.
Item number 5, adoption of the minutes. That the Environmental Advisory Committee meeting minutes of March 11th, it wasn't that long ago, that they be adopted. Can I have a mover for that? Moved by Susan, second by Paul. Any questions, comments, or discussion about the adoption of the minutes? Nothing at all? Okay, then I'll call the question for the adoption of the minutes. All in favor? And that passes. Thank you very much. Okay, Amanda, I hope you're okay. You feeling pretty good today? The virus hasn't gone to you, not from the kids to you, I guess.
Thanks. Can you hear me?
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, we can. Thank you. Yeah. Very clear. So I'll just leave item number 6 to you, items for discussion. I think mostly today, you guys, it's an update on what's happening for our Earth Day in May. I know Amanda and Christy and the other staff and others have put a lot of work into this. So this is mostly a meeting for an update. So Amanda, go ahead if you'd like. Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, thank you. I have a long list of items that we need to address there about Earth Day in May. So maybe I'll just kind of start at the top and work our way down if that works. I'm also happy to email.
Yes.
It's good? Okay.
I'm happy. Are you able to raise the volume a bit?
Oh, sure.
Maybe on this thing. I'm assuming this will do it.
No, that'll turn your microphone off.
Oh, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you. Maybe if you want to just ask Tyler to turn me up on the TVs, it's probably the easiest. That's okay.
It went up though, didn't it? Her volume went up.
No, I don't know.
To be honest,
am I too quiet?
What? Yeah.
Do I need to yell? No.
Okay, go ahead. Oh, good. Okay. Oh, wow. Our IT extraordinaire is fixing this one.
Okay, testing. How's that?
Yeah.
Better?
Good,
okay.
Better.
Okay, perfect. And yeah, thanks for being flexible for me to attend by Zoom today. I know it's not always the easiest, but sick kids, so not much to be done about that.
Environmentals are flexible. We're used to it. Yeah.
So I'm happy to send a list out as well, but I wanted to touch base on some vendors and participants that we've confirmed since the last time the committee met. So since the last time the committee met, I believe, Susan, you spoke to Leah from Lower Fraser Fisheries Alliance. I haven't officially heard back, but they did participate at the last one, so I'm hoping that they will attend. I also heard from Earthwise, so they're going to be attending. We're just kind of confirming whether they're going to have a table set up or want to participate in something a little bit more interactive, but I just recently heard from them. It turns out my emails were going to the wrong place. So confirmed with them.
Okay.
I heard from the BC Conservation Foundation. They're going to pass this time, but I did hear back from them. I have 2 new vendor requests. Sorry, if you just bear with me for 1 second here, I'll pull them up. They are, the first one was 7 Bears. So this is laser engraved wooden jewelry, layered decor, Coast Salish weaving looms and accessories. And the other one was Drummer Girl Creations, moccasins, mucklucks, and beaded Indigenous jewelry. So I'm happy to confirm those if the committee is good with that. I think one of them asked for 2 tables, but with all the vendors, I think we're getting a little bit tight on space, so which is great.
How many vendors do we have booked so far then? How many in total?
So that would be 4 plus a table for the supplies that, or the items that the sourdough workshop coordinator would sell too.
Okay.
Yeah, so five total, I suppose. Yeah. Mhm.
5 vendors in total. Okay, that's great.
Okay, so
Vendors,
I don't
yeah.
need to reach out. I don't need to reach out for any more at this point.
I mean, I don't think so. I think if someone really wanted to, we would probably find the space, I suspect.
Yeah.
But I was mapping it out kind of on a map of how many tables we're going to need, and I think we're pretty close to filling up the space with all the participants and plus the vendors. So it's coming
Okay,
together
great.
quite nicely.
Susan, do you have somebody in mind?
No, I was just gonna go perhaps to visit the Cham Flea Market, which is on Sunday, to see if there might be some good fits of vendors there. But if that's not necessary at this time, if we've got a full space, then I can keep that on the back burner perhaps for the next
Okay. All
year's
right.
event or something.
Yeah.
And then did you want me to reach out again to Leah? I know she's super busy because with her law work that she's doing, she's all traveling all over the place. She did confirm to me that she was going to do it and put it in her calendar, but I can reach out again to her if you want, or.
Yeah, you know what? I think what I'll do now is we're getting closer to the date, and I think you sent me her email.
Okay.
So what I'll probably do is just send something out to every confirmed participant and vendor. That's the same email, so don't worry about it. I will connect with her directly if that's okay.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And she
I mean,
said she would be willing to, if we needed someone to do some sort of talk or presentation regarding the connection between the indigenous and the natural world, she'd be willing to do something like that if that's something that fits in. But I know everything's pretty tight time-wise now, it seems to be. But I'll just leave that with you then. That's okay?
sure. Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah, she's willing to do like a 20-minute talk on this. That'd be interesting, I think.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's see how the next couple of weeks go, Amanda. And,
Sure.
we'll keep that in our back pocket as a possibility.
Okay. Sounds good. Yeah, I'll move on to the sourdough workshop. So since the last time the committee met, I had a meeting with Lou from Wild Bluebell. So there's a couple of options. We're thinking of running the sourdough workshop in the kitchen area, on the side, like where the fridge is. And I guess there's 2 fridges in there. The southern side of the kitchen. I think we could probably fit 10 people in there. So there's a couple options. The committee could either do it at a cost to the registrant, so it'd be $15 per person, or the committee could just pay Wild Bluebell to run the workshop out of the budget for the Earth Day in May and make it free for the 10 people who sign up to do the sourdough workshop. It is 2 hours and basically goes start to finish through the whole process of sourdough bread making. So I would probably think it would be better for that to start around like 9 first thing, get people in there. So I'm looking for feedback on whether the committee would like to cover the cost or put it out for the first 10 people to register and either bring cash or come pay at the office in advance.
My thought would be not to give it free, but not charge as much, like $5, just as a token thing that people put some value on.
Right, to make sure that they're gonna show up for it.
Okay, I like
not
that.
register.
And they probably walk away with a loaf or 2 of bread.
Oh, I'm
Oh,
sorry.
yeah, they
Sure.
get to take it home, and I think they
Okay.
get there. So there's not enough oven space to bake the 10 loaves, but they get to watch the stretching process, I suppose. I don't know. I don't know how to make sourdough bread. Maybe I'll learn something at the event. But they get to learn about the proofing process and watch it all happen. So yes, they do get to go home with the bread to bake.
And is it possible to have two time slots of that, like one at 9 and one at 10:30 or something like
Oh,
that?
it takes 2 hours, she said.
Oh, it
Yeah.
takes 2 hours, okay. And can the rest of the public sort of join in and at least peek in and watch and observe the workshop?
I think so. I would have to double check. It's I think there's going to be a lot kind of going on at once. I don't know if they're going to have like those kitchen windows open or not. I think it's kind of a fun thing to watch happening. So even if you're just walking by and see it going on,
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it would
definitely.
be a good idea if we can have those windows open for that, so people
Oh,
in the
right.
hall can see it going on, and then.
Oh, yeah, the
Yeah.
roll-ups will be out, right? I think it's gonna smell great.
She's gonna have a table nearby selling the starter kits, dehydrated starters, bowl covers, bannikins, I think they're called. They go on top of the bowl for proofing,
Mhm.
bread mats and bread bags. So um she will I think it makes sense to have the windows open or the little roll-up thing open so she can
Yeah.
kind of float between the two things. And then yeah, okay, so I think $5 is great because it does commit people to coming.
Yeah,
So
that's a good
what
idea.
we'll do is we'll put it out and we'll just, start advertising $5 workshop for the sourdough. We can only fit 10 people, and then go from there. Just keep a list and then subsidize the rest out of the budget for Earth Day in May. Does that sound good?
Yeah, a question, if you don't mind, Amanda. Will she leave like, okay, she's selling starter kits for the community and directions and instructions and recipes and all that sort of thing too? Is that what she sells?
So
know?
she sells all sorts of things. I can pass you along her website, Wild Bluebell.
That'd be
Um,
great. Thank you.
yeah, she's got all sorts of stuff. But I think the items that she was bringing to this event were going to be focused on the sourdough stuff.
Perfect.
Yeah, the cost of making stuff in-house and having
Yeah.
Mhm.
And did you ask her if she could make us some cinnamon buns?
I don't think that cinnamon buns are on the docket, unfortunately. However, we do have an item to talk about food coming up. So we can do that.
Okay. Maybe I'll order with her on cinnamon buns. I don't. So, good. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, I think
Thank you
it'll
for
be
organizing
good.
that. Okay. And so and this committee is covering the cost of her being there,
A portion.
the balance, a portion of it,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, I think that's great. For the first year, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, first year. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Okay, moving on to Communities in Bloom update. So the committee met, was it last week? Maybe, I think it was last week. And we talked about what they're going to do. They had kind of floated the idea of doing a concession. After some discussion, I think the consensus was that it's going to be a bit too much of a process to run a concession. So I have reached out to local business to provide some coffee and snacks instead, which the committee has budget for and we had talked about previously.
Yeah.
They're going to do a plant sale. So one of the committee members, she grows plants. She has a little greenhouse. So she splits plants up and she'll just have a couple of those for sale as a fundraiser for Communities in Bloom there. Whoever wants to buy I think they were just little plants.
Yeah, I might dig up some banana ones too, so there might be some slightly bigger stuff. We'll see what we all come
That's
up
great,
with,
Susan.
yeah.
So, yeah, I think it's fantastic. Yeah, if you guys want to do a plant sale that day, I think this is the whole point.
Mhm.
Awesome.
Okay.
And then they're also sponsoring a horticulture therapy workshop. So we have connected with a lady named Alyssa from, I think it's called True Blue Landscaping. So the theme for CIB for Communities in Bloom this year is horticulture therapy. So she's going to talk about the benefits of gardening while she teaches people how to plant some peas and some beans outside. So, yeah, we're gonna arrange for that to take place as well.
I think that's fantastic. That's good.
Yeah. A nice way to
Okay.
draw people in from the outside, hopefully.
Yeah, and we're gonna have an advertising campaign describing all of this, I assume.
Yeah. So now that
Yeah.
we're kind of getting the details finalized, I mean, we've had it out on our website for about a month. I think we started asking for vendors, and now that we know kind of the details around the sourdough workshop, the horticulture therapy discussion about the planting the beans and the peas. The plant sale now is getting finalized. Of course, we're going to advertise the coffee and food, which is the next item. I think that always
Yeah.
helps. So
Yeah.
I think regardless of who we end up connecting with on that, we will start advertising coffee and food because that's something that we're going to do.
Okay.
So that's fine. Prizes. Councillor Facio donated a couple gift cards to the new cafe in town.
Okay.
So I have $50 to go in a gift basket for that. And then I have, I'm working with, it's Grandpappy's in Chilliwack. They do the engraving on the Yetis. So reusable water bottles. And
I missed that. Sorry, is Grandpappy's in Chilliwack as well?
They do
Yeah, they
engraving on
do.
Yeti water bottles,
Oh.
so we're gonna have some Yeti
With our
water
logo.
bottles.
That's fantastic.
Certificates.
Who's donating the water bottle? We're gonna be able to sell the water bottles.
No, we're gonna use the budget that we have for food prizes and advertising.
Okay.
And pay for that, and then it's a giveaway. So I think we'll do a similar thing where it's a punch card, you visit, or a sticker card or whatever it is, you visit every booth, you get a stamp, and then you can put your name in to win the raffle
Fantastic.
basket. Or not a
Okay.
raffle basket, a giveaway basket, I should say. Yeah.
That's wonderful. Okay.
Yeah, I think depending on kind of what we have left over for budget, because I was going to do a newspaper ad too. Depending on what's left over for budget, toward closer to the day, I can get some extra goodies to throw in
Okay.
there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. I did contact, I think it's Robert, right? The carver. I did contact him. I left him a voicemail. I haven't heard back, so I haven't been able to confirm him yet.
A carver.
Oh, the carver. Okay, sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
I can reach out again as well, just say that, remind him that you were trying to get it all finalized. I
Yeah.
also ended up meeting a couple days ago with Jordan, who's the local carver here and does just phenomenal work. But he's a little bit unsure of how, he's very much an artist. So the timelines are a little different sometimes for artists, and he sort of acknowledges that. He does some beautiful work. And so I talked to him a little bit about that. I told him we were talking with another carver right now. But yeah, he's just a little bit unsure of how he could bring his work, because some of his pieces are quite involved and heavy, or how he could create that in that space. So I'm not sure if that will work, but you won't be able to see this.
There would be room to have a carver there, eh? We could put him somewhere in a spot.
Well,
where
there
people
is, we
can
could
come.
certainly do it outside. It's just, it's the work pieces themselves are extremely
They're big. and-
involved. So he just wasn't sure of
Right.
how he could be working on creating the piece there. We
Okay.
had talked about, he's working on a piece right now that he's partway through. And so we kind of talked about, well, maybe if you brought the piece you are working on and just sort of continue to work on it and something. But this other fellow was quite interested, that goes to some events, some festivals and things like that. Robert, is that his name? No.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Isn't it?
Robert? I think so, yeah.
He's a carver? an artist?
Yeah, in
Oh, okay.
Chilliwack.
Yeah, it's Robert. Yeah.
So are you able to reach out?
So I'll
These
reach out
folks?
again to him to see, because he was very keen on doing it.
Okay.
He was like, yeah, that's perfect. That'd be a wonderful thing. So I'll just kind of follow up and just let him know that, you know, the village is trying to reach out to make sure that that's all set up for him. He
Yeah.
just requires, he said, you know, he's going to be working outside. If we could have a tent for him, so
Okay.
if it's inclement weather, right, he'll need that to work on some of his
And
carpets.
we will have tents, Amanda, is that right? We've got a couple that the village
So
owns?
we only have one tent. So if anyone has a lead on a tent, I might have a lead on another tent. But we only have the one Fire Smart tent, I believe. I
Okay,
think
so.
tourism
yeah,
has a
we've got-
tent.
I was going to say, yeah, I'm sure that they have a
Yeah.
tent.
Who's that?
Harrison Tourism.
Oh, sure, okay.
Let me
Let's see,
let me
can we
ask.
reach out
I
to
know
Harrison
that
Tourism?
I have a pop-up one too. But
And I think the
yeah.
Dragon Boaters have one I might have access to, so that's
Oh, okay.
3 or 4 we could probably get.
Sure. I think we could scrounge
So-
up some tents.
And I'm just
Well,
thinking. about
hopefully we
these-
have really nice weather and we don't need it.
Yeah, would that be nice? Yeah, or we're inside, right? We have the Memorial Hall booked, is that, I just want to confirm if it
Oh,
rains
yes.
for
Yeah.
the Memorial Hall. And if a carver or another vendor wants to get in the night before, is that possible? If they
Let
need to
me
move a
check.
big piece?
Let me just check our calendar here. So right now it's vacant the night before. So
Okay,
there's no
okay,
booking
good.
in there. Yeah.
It's just nice to know that if your carver friends want to get in the night before, bring in their big piece in.
Right. Or even if we wanted to get in to help to set up or something.
Yeah, maybe we could do that on that Friday night. I think that'd be good, Susan. Okay, sorry, Amanda, go ahead. Carver,
Oh,
that's
no,
good.
that's fine.
And
Yeah.
entertainment now.
Yeah, so I've kind of grouped in, I know Susan, thanks for passing on the info about the musician, and then there's also the magician. So I wanted to touch base with the committee on either of those options, if they want to do one or the other, or get an update. I don't know if you were able to connect with the magician, Susan.
I did connect and I got a quote back.
Mhm.
And I haven't responded to it yet because it was very expensive. It was $695 for 45 minutes.
For a magician.
And I was like, wow, okay, yeah, so I didn't want to respond back till after we met, because I knew we were going to be meeting in a few days. So, but yeah, that is very far outside of our
Oh, yeah.
budget for a 45-minute
Yeah.
act. Then there was the other fellow who again, I think can be flexible, who is just like a children's entertainer, I guess, as a singer. That link that I sent, Zox of the Forest or something.
Yeah.
And
Lots of the forest.
if we wanted to have some element for children's entertainment, that could be a possibility if people wanted to do something like that. Or I don't know if you looked at the price information that he sent, because he also said he can do like just roving, right? Like sort of,
Right.
I guess that's like minstrel type of stuff or whatever if we wanted.
Is he in our budget at all?
He is in our budget, I think, but yeah.
Within our budget, I should say.
Yeah, I think he's within our budget, and he said he could be flexible as well. So we could maybe reach out and talk to him again if that's something that fits, right? If that's something that fits with our Earth Day. When I was thinking about it, I was just thinking about children's element of people coming with their kids, how we keep them very engaged
Yeah.
as well. So, but so that's whatever the committee thinks and wants to move forward with.
Yeah, I'd like to do something for the kids for sure. You know, we kind of failed on the kids thing last year. We'd like to do something that's going to attract them.
Well, Amanda,
Face painting.
you have young kids. You might have better insight in what appeals to them, what entertains them.
Yeah, I think like you said, Susan, the magician is pretty pricey for the budget for this event, and also I'm not too sure like the messaging kind of lines up in terms of like Earth Day,
Right.
environmental. However, it looks like Zox of the Forest did some songs on like endangered species and stuff like that. It also looks like he does like puppetry and storytelling, which I think would be still engaging for the kids while still being within the committee's budget, and also in line kind of with the feel of the event and the purpose. So definitely, I think if the committee wanted to do a 30-minute show, you know, maybe towards the end to kind of round out the day, or do it at like 11, like I said, so it's not competing with the sourdough workshop while she's trying to speak. Yeah, the only thing is I'll have to just double check for any kind of like audio visual support that would be needed, just because it is a Saturday. So I can look into that, but I think a half hour, 11 o'clock show would be great. And then we potentially could still have some budget for face painting on top of that to kind of fits in if that's something the committee would like to do.
Kind of unrelated maybe on the side, but is there anybody that we can envision giving a lecture for 15 or 20 minutes, getting up on the stage and talking about their business or product or environmental issues or whatever? I know that we had considered that in the past.
Yeah.
Any ideas out there at all? Or, you know, maybe we can have a
Yeah.
set time, 11 o'clock, there's a talk on, I don't know, indigenous
Sure.
forestry, whatever.
So out of all of the kind of participants, I think Susan, you said Leah would be willing to put something together. I also know that Lori from WildSafe said she would be interested in doing a presentation about wild animals. She's the one that's got all the skulls to bring. So definitely, I think she would. I'm not too sure. I know Earthwise does some of that kind of like speaker type of presentation stuff. I only was able to connect with them this week, so I haven't asked them about that. Yeah.
Do you think Lori would be willing to go up and give a
Oh.
talk? And knowing Lori, I think she'd be good for the kids. They love skulls and furs and stuff like that. I don't know. When I was a kid, I liked that stuff. You think she'd be willing to give a talk, or maybe is it appropriate, you guys? I don't know, but I'm just wondering if, you know, is there a time where we're going to have a critical mass of people there? You know, last year was more stragglers throughout the, you know, we only had about 120 people, I think, throughout the 3 hours, but maybe we get more people coming if they know there's a cool lecture happening at 11.
Yeah, not a long lecture, but something, something that's small. We could set up a little area with just like even like 10 chairs or something.
Yeah. Or even get the stream keepers to do a 10-minute spiel about what they do. Are the stream keepers coming?
Yes.
They are. They're on this list. Okay.
Mhm.
Maybe they'd like to go up for 10 minutes. Maybe we do a lecture series at 11.
Do you want
Well,
to do?
Jan does, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, Amanda.
Oh,
Jan
that's
does she did a nice seminar last year about the invasive species, which was incredible, so informative and just a really good
Yeah.
seminar that she did. So even if she had like a little condensed version, like a 20-minute, like this plant is bad, instead use this one, which looks almost the same, to plant in your garden or something, like if she's free, because they will be manning their table as well.
Yeah, they've got a lot of help though. She can peel away for 10 minutes and
I think she'd like to.
introduce herself. And I'm knowing Lori, she likes to talk too. What do you guys think? Should we have a lecture series? Maybe for 2 15-minute talks?
I think it would be great if we
Intros?
had some little sort of break off area where there was just a little presenter and if it was on the other, even on the other side of, if it's inside, on the other side of Memorial Hall, away from the kitchen, They're just
Yeah.
talking like we're talking now, right? So
Sure.
it's not really gonna be competing with, I don't think, what's happening in the kitchen. If we did something like that, I think that's a great
I
idea.
think that we should, and that way people have a target as to what they're gonna come for. They're saying, we gotta be there by 11 or by 10:30 to do Starbow and then listen to Jan and Lori and whoever else we might decide. I don't know. Bit of a learning thing too, not just
Something
a,
between the 10:30 and 11.
yeah,
I love that idea.
yeah. Can you reach out to, or should, you know, you're friends with Jan? You can,
Yeah. all
or
of
you
us,
are too.
yeah.
Do you think she'd be willing to do a 15? She likes to talk. We gotta say 15 minutes, Jan. You
I
know?
think she would.
Okay, and if she wants to talk, throw in some birds, talk too. I don't know, she loves her birds.
She does some great
She has a,
talks over,
yeah, so,
or at Earthwise about the birds. I haven't been yet, but I know
Yeah.
she does that.
and maybe the gal from the East Sector would like to do 10-minute talk.
Kelly?
Kelly, she said she's coming. Maybe she'd like to talk for 10 or 15 minutes about.
Maybe what I'll do is put out like a sign up sheet to the participants, and just put it out there between, 10:30 to 11:15. We're looking for people to sign up for, a 10-minute time slot to speak
Yeah.
in that kind of like breakout area. Please like fill out the form and then they can put in their like topic.
Yeah,
I know Fraser Valley invasive species is going to be there as well, so it might be helpful for Miami River Stream Keepers to pick a topic that's a little different from that. Like you say, that are local birds or something like that. Just to give some variety. But yeah, I think what I'll do then, we can set up like a little breakout area, with like some chairs, kind of like amphitheater style with a TV. The TV,
Yeah.
and people can connect their laptops to it. And if they have a PowerPoint or even just like pictures of what they want to talk about. And then we can even just have like a small mic for people to reach people if they need to. And then what I'll probably just do is put something out to all the participants and just say, hey, please, sign up, and it'll be like a Google document that anyone can see who's signed up to do what time. I think that might just be the simplest way of doing it. That works for the community.
I think, because then we're covering entertainment, food, concessions, and education. And that's really what we're here for, and I think,
Yeah, a little more
Well,
than
lecture
just the
series.
education at the tables. You're bringing another element in.
yeah,
So
okay, so.
does the
just to
committee
review-
want to do music or anything like that, or are we gonna go for this kind of workshop or lecture series instead?
You wanna try the children's thing? Get
Why
them
not?
there? Sure.
I like the idea of having the children's entertainer there.
I wanna get more young people there this year for sure, so if this will help draw, then sure.
Okay, so maybe from 10 to 11, we do the lecture series where they pick a specialized topic and they present on it for 10 to 15 minutes. And then at 11, we do a half-hour show.
Sounds good.
Yeah, okay.
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 So just to review, we're gonna reach out to folks like Jan, Kelly, and Lori to see if they're willing and able to do 10, 15-minute lecture on what they do. Or, on their thing. Would that be okay?
Yeah, that's what she's gonna send it out to all of the participants, and ask them if they wanna sign up for
Okay,
a slot, so I think.
fantastic. Very good, Amanda.
Okay, the last item on the list, Fire Smart plant vouchers. I just wanted to follow up on that. I think this is something we will have at the Fire Smart table. But if there are committee members available to kind of assist with handing those out and getting people registered, because our Fire Smart coordinator, our representative is Thomas, he's just one person. So if we could get some help with that on the day of, that might be needed. I wasn't gonna put a booth up at the environmental committee. I kind of pictured everybody roaming a bit, if that's okay. And go from there.
We're not gonna have a table for the environmental
Oh,
committee.
okay.
We're gonna be,
Roaming, okay, fair enough,
Yeah.
all right,
I will get some name tags for you.
thank you,
Yeah.
okay.
Susan, are you going to be wearing your Communities in Bloom, or what? Are you going to be rocking both?
I'm gonna be, I'll rock them all. I'll rock them
Or
all.
your Miami River Stream Keepers?
Yeah.
Wear three
Okay.
hats. That's amazing.
I think that's good for now. We kind of,
Okay,
yeah.
sorry, I just have one thing that I didn't see on there. We had talked about the battery recycling, and I've seen that resurface on other people's posts on Facebook. So that's still a go. We're doing that.
Yeah, thanks for reminding me to talk about that. Yeah, I think it's going to be kind of like a self-serve area. So Public Works is going to put some bins in that kind of right when you walk in that are separated out in terms of what types of batteries you can put in. And we have plenty of bins if it fills up that we can swap out. I don't think it really needs to be like people don't need to necessarily stand there, but depending on how many we have, we might need some support from the committee in taking them to the bottle depot for recycling. But we're just going to have printed up materials available for people to come and yeah.
Oh, good. Yeah, because I've seen on a few posts other people going, "Hey, did you know there's Earth Day and you can drop off your batteries?" Like other people posting that, and just that it's household batteries, not scooter batteries, motorcycle batteries, nothing like that, right? It's just
Yeah, we have a list on the Earth Day Me webpage too, if anyone is looking for it. There's a list of what will be accepted and what is not.
Okay. I've got a couple questions too. I mentioned the kids in the school, and I think one of the things we missed out last year is not having enough kids there. Can we reach out to the local school, even the Agassiz school, to advertise this to them directly?
Yeah, we can. Yep, they do like a newsletter to parents. I know in general, sometimes Saturdays can be activity days for families. So it's hit or miss, but we will put it out to the newsletter for the school. They're totally good with incorporating our stuff.
And maybe on social media, get it out to their parent advisory groups.
The newsletter goes to all the parents. Yeah.
It does. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. The other question I had is with regards to the, I believe Agassiz had a booth there just to bring awareness to their fundraising for the pool. I'm pretty sure they came in last year.
Mm.
Am I right? Or am I think? Yeah. Are they coming again?
I haven't reached out to them this time around. I think it's pretty full as it is with all the vendors and participants that we have. I can, but I think it's pretty full as is.
Okay. And the other is I think we were talking about giving away vouchers or coupons for trees at one point. Did we ever?
So that's the Fire Smart vouchers.
That's the Fire Smart voucher. Okay, I wasn't sure about this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And that's about, just to explain that to me again, it's a voucher for Minter Gardens.
Yeah. So if you sign up for a home assessment, you can get a voucher for I can't remember off the top of my head, but it's a large discount on Fire Smart trees or plants.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Amanda, that's a great update. Thank you.
I have one more question just with regards to the advertising piece of it.
Mm-hmm.
Are we getting put together a nice little poster by Kaylee or anything, or that'll look a little different than sort of the posts that go out on Facebook all kind of have the same look to them. If we had some kind of bright, cool poster that sort of highlighted all the different things that people are going to see, and then we can start spreading that around, right?
And pretty quickly, like after Easter, we want to do this. Is that possible, Amanda, to get one of our, Kaylee maybe, or Christy or somebody?
Yeah, I think we needed to know the details. So now that we've had this meeting here today to get a lot of the details hammered out, in terms of like what time the workshop is going to be, how much it's going to cost people, whether there's going to be entertainment, that kind of thing. Once I've finalized with our vendors, we can go from there. Yeah,
Perfect.
there's a balance with advertising of doing it like too early and not early enough. That so working on it. Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I think
fantastic.
after Easter, we can
Mhm.
start pushing it, because even on the social media pages here on Facebook, I know often I'm seeing things not until after they've happened,
Same
right?
here,
Coming up on the
yes.
feeds. So pushing it out a lot on different sites, like weekly almost, is a good, I think, a good avenue. I think in advertising, basically you need 3 touch points where it psychologically sticks in your
Yeah.
head. You need at least 3 different touch points to make it stick. So I think after Easter, that's a good time to start really getting people excited about this is happening. Like, come check it out. We've got all these different things.
So Susan, would it be okay then if we agree on a date where we start pushing this out to social media and to other sources? And the reason I say this is because I'm going to be away until the 17th of April or 18th of April. And I think we ought to have started this before then.
Well, I
We
think
have
now that
been advertising already, so it's on our newsletter that is going out today, the e-newsletter.
Okay.
We just got our EMB back up and running, so it'll go on the electronic message board just outside the village office here. We will put posters up on the notice boards in town. We've had it on our website for already a month. It's the main banner page when you open the website. The first thing you see on the very top is Earth Day in May. We will push out some stuff on our Facebook as we get closer to the day. So we're going to do a newspaper ad. So I think we're trying to cover as many bases as we can. Yeah.
Okay. Are you satisfied with that?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that's great.
Paul, anything before we move
No,
on?
that sounds good.
Yeah,
Good
man,
plan.
that's a great thank you to you and to the staff and to everybody who involved for doing this.
Yeah.
It's a fantastic update.
Thank you
I
to you
think it's
guys
gonna be
too.
a terrific event. We're building this event. We're doing our best, and we learned a lot last year, and we'll learn a lot this year. And it's fantastic.
Oh, sorry, just one other thing that I just noticed, that I had talked about getting some speakers that were doing seminars at Earthwise and things. One that I went to was really good, by Dr. Elizabeth L. But she's in the middle of doing a project right now that's running from April until September. So she wouldn't be able to speak, but next year, so I'm just going to keep that.
Memory, yeah.
And she said, I would love to come and do some sort of talk about, so the one I went to was a lot about pollinators and things like that.
Oh,
So for, not for this event, but like you say, as we grow this event, I think it can be something really special.
Yeah, oh, for sure, 100%. That's great.
Yeah, I think we touched on all the things that we said we needed to do over last year. I think we covered all the bases.
Yeah,
I just
I think we have.
looking back to what we said after last year's event, what we needed to do, and I think we touched on them all.
Yeah, you bet, you bet. Okay, we're gonna move on from item A. Is that okay, Amanda? Anything else to finish up? Okay, thank you. Okay, item B, adopt a road policy. This is something that we've talked about. This was actually Johnny's original motion. And I think it came about when we were walking the lagoon, and it was generally the staff do a fantastic job of cleaning up the lagoon, but I think getting the public involved would be a fantastic idea. So Amanda, do you have something to report on item B? Go ahead. Okay.
So at the last environmental committee meeting, this kind of came up, and the committee asked that this be referred to the Communities in Bloom Committee because it was originally their policy. We took it to the Communities in Bloom Committee, and the discussion was, it's a great initiative. Unfortunately, that committee has a lot on the go at the moment, so they have. Susan can speak to this too, but they're a very ambitious crew, and there's quite a few projects that committee is really spearheading already. So at this time, it's not something that they really have the bandwidth to kind of take on in terms of operating that program. Especially they're looking at doing like weed and feed events where people come out and weed a garden bed or weed an area, and then hopefully a local business sponsors, snacks, coffee, refreshments, whatever for the volunteers. So they do have quite a bit on the go. So this is kind of I said it at the last meeting, we're playing policy ping pong between the two committees. So just taking it back to the environmental committee for further feedback, if this is something that the committee wants to take on, or something that they want to look at in the future again.
How would we pursue? Okay, so I'll ask the committee members, do you want to carry on with
Well, I think
pursuing this?
especially the shoreline cleanup.
I think so.
Spearhead it in some way.
I'd like to pursue it. Are you okay with pursuing this? I think it's a
Yeah.
great idea. It'd be great to rally the community around cleaning up our environment and where needed anyways. Corporate officer, how do you think we should pursue this then? What's next steps should we pursue?
I think maybe once the committee gets through Earth Day in May, they can take a look at this. Realistically, I don't know how realistic it is to implement it this year if we're only starting to talk about it in May, in terms of having people come out and sign up and go. There's a lot of logistical things that need to be addressed with that. We have to have a system in place for people to adopt the road or adopt the shoreline. And what does the term of that look like? Is that a weekly thing? Is that a month-long thing? Is that you adopt it until you no longer want to adopt it? I think there's a lot of different variables and directions that the committee could take it. Is it something that you want to do in conjunction with adopting, adopt a road? Do you want to separate them out? Do you want it to be a seasonal thing? Because I think it came up kind of as a result of, after a long weekend where it's quite busy on the beachfront. So I think there's just quite a few details that maybe need to get worked out before we can kind of hit the ground with it.
Yeah. We'll have to divide the community up into linear shorelines, roadways, and
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So is this committee okay with just focusing on getting through Earth Day in May, and then we'll just
bring
talk about
that
this
back? Yeah, because there's if we do want to do something like that, we could always do a very condensed version, even if it's just sort of the committee. So once a month after our meeting, we go out and we
Sure.
go around. The environmental committee's out picking up an area, and then we go for coffee after or something.
I like that idea.
So there's condensed ways we could do it if we want to. But I agree. Let's get Earth Day in May under our belts, and then.
So Amanda, add that to our next meeting, if you could please.
Okay.
Bring that forward. Thank you.
No problem.
We'll table that for the next meeting. Okay, civic, sorry, is there anything else before I move on from item B that you guys would like to add? Okay, so we'll go to item C then, corporate officer, the civic campus engagement event on May 20th. And just as a reminder, this committee had asked that we are involved proactively before decisions are made in anything that's going to happen with regards to the civic campus here. And so corporate officer, thank you for involving us. And you're going to let us know what's happening on May 20th, I assume.
Yeah, so we haven't done any advertising yet just because it's a little bit early and we're still confirming all the participants, but we're starting to put the feelers out there. So it's listed as an important date on our website. So this is regarding the new school. It's called the Civic Campus Idea. Right now, as part of the engagement plan, we are planning a kind of open house event at the school. And it's really, it's called an open space concept. So it's not intended to be a formal like presentation or event where it's structured. It's meant to be very informal, where anyone can come and visit the various stations and tables that are set up, and people can just have a conversation about the proposal, gather that kind of informal feedback, hopefully answer some questions, see the school as it is today. And so we're hoping, I think I did bring this up at a previous committee meeting, but we're hoping to have representation from the environmental committee to talk about things that are important to the committee. I know there's been discussion about the trees in that area, parkland in that area. So anything that is of interest to you from an environmental perspective, if you're willing to participate that evening, I wanted to make sure that you had advance notice of the time and the date. So we've been preparing these documents that I've put on the desk there. It's called a table host guide. It's just to give you a sense of what the evening will look like, who is planned to participate already, and then some idea prompts for questions. Like I say, it's meant to be a very informal information gathering evening to get kind of a pulse point on the public and put some information out there.
Will there be a master of ceremonies or someone facilitating this entire event? No. So we are relying, I see that you've got table topics, then each table will be responsible for taking notes and their own message board with regards to community comment.
Yeah, so
right?
we're gonna have materials. There's gonna be like a place where people can write down their general comments on a sticky note and put it up as a way to gather feedback. We're trying to organize tours of the school as well, so just trying to connect with the school district on that. But
Okay.
it's not. I don't foresee like a master of ceremonies or anything like that. It's meant to be like an open house.
But I do see, and I'm grateful to see this, that we are a major table topic, parks and green spaces, and we are hosting, our committee will host some of this vision board that people might come to us with their comments. I think that's fantastic. So
yeah, I just want to clarify too, like
we'll take turns talking to people and getting their ideas.
Yeah, like just to make sure everyone's on the same page too. Like no one isn't meant to know every single answer to the project or know everything about it. I'm sure it's going to be as much as an information gathering session for you guys as well. So it's more intended to really start the conversation and be there to as a sounding board for people who want to talk about any environmental concerns.
So we will be charged with logging in comments and concerns from citizens, and then we'll make a report to this committee and to council about what we heard.
Yeah, that would be great if even if it's just some handwritten notes of what you heard after the fact. You do a little debrief, and then we can kind of gather all that information together to form a bigger picture.
What do you think?
Okay, so that's nice. So our job at this is just to basically be listening and gathering information from people of what are their thoughts regarding this sort of thing.
Yeah,
okay.
We represent the public as an environmental committee. What are your concerns? Okay, that's great, Amanda. I think So are we? Are you guys available on May? Sorry, it's May 20th, right? Yeah. Has this been published already, Amanda? The May 20th date? I don't think so. So we're seeing this first.
It's on our website as an important date, but we haven't pushed out any advertising yet. It is a little early, but we will start to do that in the coming weeks for sure.
School, is Cascade School District's involved too? They're joining us.
Yeah, and I reached out to the PAC as well, so they're hoping to have representation there as well. So there's a few moving parts with all the different parties that are involved, but I think our age-friendly committee is also coming as well. So yeah, should be a good night, I think.
I think so. That's good. Okay. That's the update. Any questions or comments, Paul or Susan?
No, I'm excited about this. This is getting the public input before we go ending rumors and all the rest of it.
That's right. Yeah.
I'm very positive about it.
Yeah. Okay.
How do we develop, do this development and have the environment concerns addressed? And I think that there's ways of doing it. I think there could be some real positives.
There will for sure. There's gonna be compromises for sure. But if we can, before a shovel goes into the ground, set some ground rules and some visions, and then I think that'd be great. Susan, anything else? No? Okay. Thanks, Amanda. Wonderful. And that brings us to D, which is our next meeting. I'd like, before we go to our calendars, I'm wondering if we should reach out to Johnny and just see what does work for him. I know he's going back to work, and it's not every day. I think he's just part-time while he recovers from his surgery. So I'm wondering, Amanda, if it'd be worthwhile to maybe we could fix a couple dates, but let's check with him. I value him being here as well with us if possible. I know he's missed a couple, so. But I'm happy to.
Sorry,
Sorry.
are you hoping to meet just shortly before Earth Day, May, just in case there's any last minute items, or?
Oh, maybe a good idea. What do you think, Susan?
Yeah, like if we, on
It's a long ways.
Thursday on the 30th of April, or
Okay.
sometime during that week, the week right before.
Maybe we better, hey? Do we have to meet as a committee, or should we just? Oh no, we need you, so it's a public thing. I was going to say we could just have a coffee together. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Okay.
think if it's just like logistics, handing out tasks, it's no concern there.
Okay.
What I can do is maybe I'll reach out to Johnny and just ask him what his availability is like that week. Are there any days that week that are a no-go for other committee members? So that's April 27th to May 1.
Yeah, the 27th, I've got all kinds of appointments.
Okay.
So not the 27th, if we can avoid that. I'm sorry, I'm just having
Yeah.
trouble getting on my calendar here.
And not the afternoon of the 28th, but the rest is okay.
Oh, and Amanda, we have a conference. Oh, I see. Yeah.
Oh, that is right. So thank you for reminding me. You're right. That is LMLGA that weekend, right?
So does that take you out the whole week?
I can do it on Zoom. I can join you guys on Zoom, but it does take me out of that. It's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, isn't it, Amanda? The
April
Whistler thing.
29 to May 1, yeah.
Possibly
finishes
the
on the Friday
28th in the
night.
morning. You said, Paul, in the afternoon, you have something on the 28th.
Yeah, in the afternoon, morning of the 28th is fine.
Okay.
It will, but yeah, check with Johnny to see if that.
You want to check with Johnny?
Sure. I will ask Johnny about the morning of the 28th.
Just save this then. Okay.
Okay. Okay. Sounds good.
Good.